Hi, this is my Aura Magic Alpha 6 release. I'm just going to start by going over the bugs I did previously. In the previous version, I fixed 3 bugs. The first one was where the temple was spawning badly, and that I introduced in that version. And I added some icons for me. I adjusted the sprites so the smaller they are, the smaller the range they have. And that should keep them from wandering off. So then when I did my playthrough, I ran into a whole lot of bugs, and I fixed quite a few of them. After doing the start NPC quest and later on coming back, the NPC reset to default. Next, the spawn crystal looks the same as a normal block crystal. When using tamer on crystals with higher levels, it wasn't picking up crystals. The downstairs spell when walking forward spawned a block in me and I got knocked off. Merging sprites sometimes merges too much. Sprites in different levels can't target something and just sit there. So I don't have an example of this, so I'm just going to play some random video. Block crystals are hard to find. Adjust area of picking up sprite a bit closer, so no video for that either. Sprite must not attack tameable creatures. I don't have a video for that, but I ran into that when I was trying to get my horse and sprite near each other, and the sprite just wanted to go through the wall and kill the horse. Placing the sprite on a 1 block higher platform would spawn it underneath. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the spawning crystal and how it looks different. So that's the new spawning crystal, and that's what it used to look like. Well, that's a block, and now it should be much easier to see. I'm going back here. So I've made a new taming level 5 item, and it's got quite a bit more expensive recipe. I've added adamantium and an extra taming part to the recipe, and then I've renamed all of these. This will change your existing tamers. It will move the tamers up by 1. Been doing quite a few break-in changes as I've been going forward, but my plan is to stop doing that after I've done version 1. In other words, moved away from alpha. Next, here are the new taming level 5 items, just to show you what they look like. And you notice they have a gem instead of a crystal. You can still put them down and pick them up, although that's a bit more pointless since you can do that with a pickaxe normally. And here is the normal level 5 sprite, and that's all standard. There's nothing different there. Then what I'm going to be showing you now is the new sprite menus. So the first thing you'll notice is they don't come towards you. There's a different default behavior. And if I put myself in adventure mode, then you get this new menu on them when you highlight over them and to change state, and then if you pressed it, there's 5 menu items. The first 4 are common to all 5 sprites, and the last one is common to the first 4, and I'll show you how that is different later for the level 5 sprite. So first is to stay here, and that's its default. So what it will do is it will stay here, it won't hit anything, and if it gets damaged it will run away, and then it will come back here. So the idea behind that is to, if an NPC hits it, it's got more of a chance of surviving while you're trying to do something about it. Guard here will change the animation to that, and it will attack anything that it sees. Follow me follows me without attacking anything, and it will ignore all damage. That's useful when you don't have a tamer and you need to move it around, and I ran into that during my playthrough. Guard me is what it used to do, and the only difference is when it's attacking something, I've changed the code so you can press F on it and it will stop. So that should stop it running away and trying to attack random stuff and you're struggling to get hold of it. And then the last one is try merge. So the default behavior was it used to just try merge with anything, but if I spawn another level 1, it won't automatically merge. So if I tell it to merge, it will try look for another sprite the same size and merge, and if not, if it can't find, I'll just go back to the default. And then you can just carry on merging it all the way up if you want to. And you can do that to level 5, of course. And here's an example of what you can do with the guarding, where you can set them up to guard a certain area. And they should go attack stuff and then go back to their current position. This is the level 5 one again. And what I want to show here is... Okay, so you get the menu, and there, that's the new menu item. So it's farming. So for all level 5 sprites can now farm crystals. They work on the same idea as the normal crystal spawning. So in other words, they can they run off the biomes and they run off the height of the crystals. So for ocean biomes and lava biomes, they can't farm in them, and then the rest they'll actually then show you if you tell them to farm. Now for this biome I'm in, it can never farm, so I can't actually demonstrate the farming, but I can do some of it here. So if I click farm, it will then show you it hasn't got the correct height for the crystal, but it will show you it doesn't matter what height it is for this biome. Then if I tell it to follow me, so what I'm doing is I'm moving it away from the crystal. And telling it to farm, then it will show that, which it can't find the crystal. Next I'm going to create a new world, and then I'll show you the rest of the farming. So I just made a new world. So this is no different, except the bug I fixed for it. Okay, so first thing I want to do is find a high spot, which there's some right behind me. And then I want to go and speed myself up. So, in theory, anywhere these crystals can spawn, you can start mining. So if I go grab myself a tamer, spawn the guy, and you need to be in adventure mode, and farm. So now you can see that's the poor level, so it will take 2 minutes 30 to mine something, and then this is the mining animation. It will, so what it will do is it will select a crystal and then try upgrade it to the next level. If it can't find a crystal, it will come up with a default thing, but if it can't find a crystal to upgrade, it will spawn a new one randomly next to it. So these blocks can't be upgraded, of course. So let me grab the thing. So that's the next level up. It starts off at the best level at 1 minute and then adds 30 seconds to each time. So that's how I get to 2 minutes 30 for the per level. What I'll do is I'll just go to the floating temple. Oh, there's a nice small one. Okay, this looks gonna try and hit me off, so I'll spawn him. God, yeah. Okay, that gets rid of that guy. And I'm just gonna break the spawner. Yep. And then I want a crystal. So you probably select those ones anyway, but I'll just put one there and farm. Okay, so you selected those ones anyway. So that's the best level, you can see what it does. And it'll take 1 minute to now make a new crystal. So of course these temples are quite a good spot to spawn. I'm going to show you a video of 3 sprites farming a small area on a platform I made. and as you can see they're busy farming. The video is 20 times sped up, I think, and what they'll do is they'll farm, I think, all the way to the night, and they ended up with about 7 or 8 blocks after that, and that's quite a few blocks, and that should be enough, fast enough. I might change this as I play the game and stuff like that, but for now that's good enough. So as you can see here, now this guy's already upgraded one of the crystals. So hopefully this will now give you a lot more control of the sprites, and then also be able to, in later game, start setting up farms so you don't have to run around and fetch the crystals all the time. I'd also, hopefully with all the bug fixes, that helped a lot. I mean, there are still bugs out there. So in the next version, there's quite a few things. I want to clean up the sprites, as in like get them working very nicely, and then start cleaning up the fighting part of the game, so where you're shooting and there's a few bugs around all of that, and I just want to make it feel like really nice to fight and these guys to react a bit better. Also maybe add some sound effects to them so they make maybe noises where they just sit here and do nothing, and also some idle animations, and maybe like some decorative wind items where they can interact with it. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.